What's up, everyone? Heartcore here. Sorry I haven't uploaded in like 2 months right now. I think probably more. But sorry, life happened and a lot of shit happened. But we wanted to talk about something that's been going on lately. Of course, with Nintendo, and I've seen that with Kaiser the other day. Say hi, by the way.
Hello.
So yeah, we wanted to talk about what's been going on with Nintendo and how weird they've been acting. So we all know that they're trying to sue Pal World, which is another game, a monster game, I believe, right, Kaiser?
It's a monster capture game,
Yeah, a monster
and
collector.
this is
Mm-hmm.
yep. And this is coming after months since Power World has launched, and the very diehard of Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
extremists were calling for Nintendo to file a lawsuit against the creators of Power World
Mm-hmm.
over them making pretty much a similar game to Pokemon,
Yeah.
and now they are finally going into uh, this
The
lawsuit with them
yeah.
over similar aspects. The Ball or Pokeball,
Mm-hmm. That you
and
throw
then
around.
they're yep that you use to capture, and they also seem to be going after the uh, ability to mount uh, of mounting,
Oh yeah.
which for most people is probably the weirdest thing because of the fact that how many games are you able to mount something else? I'm sure that,
Oh yeah.
Bethesda or any of these other companies with horse mounts would have something to say
Mm-hmm.
about that whole thing.
And the
But
fact
this
that
is seem. Oh, go ahead.
the fact that they're doing this is kind of ridiculous. Because how many games out there that uses the same premise of collecting monsters?
hmm Well, this seems to be coming off of them now having a patent in both Japan and America for these mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, lawsuits about mechanics hasn't always held up well in a court.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing if it's a pal looking similar
Oh
to a Pokemon,
yeah.
and because Nintendo really goes after making sure that they patent their Pokemon or at least their legendaries.
Mm-hmm.
It always comes up every year. Oh, what have we found? Oh, they have patent uh um the legendaries from the latest game,
Mm-hmm.
Miraidon. They patent his Japanese name,
Oh.
and that's how people kind of find these. So that would be a bit more than a mechanic. And yes, like Pokemon may have been one of the first, but how many other games
Mm-hmm.
were before that might have used something similar or have come out after and Nintendo doesn't do anything?
Yeah.
And this is also now around the same time that we've found out that the makers of Power World are going to release a console edition, or they're
Mm-hmm.
going to have more for consoles
Yeah.
after the State of Play by Sony.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also supposedly talk about a mobile version.
And let's not forget, there is the other game that came out from Nintendo lately. It's
Mm-hmm.
the Legend of Zelda: The Echoes of Wisdom, where you play as Zelda finally. Of course, you can play as Zelda in other games, which is the Zelda CDI, but we don't talk about that because it wasn't made by Nintendo anyway.
Yeah,
But there've been like talk lately, and it's kind of weird seeing this. But there is the
it's kind
IGN
of weird.
article that one person was talking about, and one line actually grabbed my attention, which is the one down there, it says, rather than being yet another remix of a distant hero or mute swordsman, to save the day, Zelda is the central character of the plot. I mean, she always been the central character, but that's just me. As a result, I felt much more important. I mean, didn't you feel important when you were playing Zelda or Link? I'm saying he's Zelda again, but
Yeah.
he felt more important and involved as I explored Hyrule. Like, doesn't that feel kind of a little bit just sexist? Because I played Zelda. It's one of my favorite games of all time, of course. And I like playing as Link. I mean, we're always accustomed to play as Link. Of course, you can name him, but he is still the same reincarnated person or character.
Yeah.
Aside from Zelda.
You know, when you play as Link, there's certain things that are always prevalent when you play as Link.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice that they have now given Zelda a chance to be playable.
Yeah.
You know,
nice.
I think it's a good thing to have more characters, more lore, or more things in a world to make the world feel just that much bigger.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in the past where they gave Peach a game to save Mario, and that did pretty well, I think.
It's the two games. The one on the DS, the original DS, and the one on the
Yep,
Switch
and
recently.
then, yeah, the Switch got a bit more, got a bit more hate because it didn't feel the same way as the other, I think. People were more thinking of a platformer, but they also said it was very easy.
Yeah.
But
it's
that's
very-
neither here nor there. To me, it's still a good game. I wouldn't say it's a terrible game.
Of course.
That being said, it does kind of come off as being, you know, just a backhanded compliment to all the past games where you play as Link.
I mean, he's not
Because-
mute, right? They explained it in multiple games why he is silent. Specifically, the Breath of the Wild game, where Zelda make a comment in one of the journals that he is mute to. I'm sorry, I haven't played Breath of the Wild in a while, but she said something that he isn't as talking, but he does talk. But not as much I'm not sure what the reason is, but it's there. Still in the game. But again, for me, it really doesn't matter. As long as the game is fun, it doesn't matter what character I play as. It really doesn't.
No. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't matter what game you play, because you could go from playing, you know, let's stick to Nintendo games. You could go from playing Link in one game to playing Samus. You know, in one of the Primes or one of the older platforms.
Oh yeah.
You could, I mean, there's so many out there that their main character, you could even play as Kirby.
Which is a small ball, pink ball. Cute.
Yeah, small little pink ball that you either find very adorable or very frightening. Depending on who you ask.
Exactly.
So,
But
and
it's so weird. Like, these people keep talking about, I feel better playing as this character. I feel like, why? How was that a thing? I mean, it's kind of the same character, right? It's just reskinned. Because you can play as Link in the first part of the game, the Echoes of Wisdom. And it kind of feels the same. Like, I didn't feel any difference. And both of the characters are more important. They're both important. There's no difference.
yeah, without a Zelda game would not be a Zelda game without Zelda.
Right.
But you know, we're so used to Link being in the game, and and because of the lore, he is one of the pivotal points of the story.
Right? He is important just as much as how Zelda is important. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, how Zelda is important, you're right.
Right. Because, of course, it's her game. It's The Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's just getting all weird lately with games. And the fact that people are, or should I say the woke people, that always bring up something about games that isn't necessary. The games are okay. Some of them are hit and miss.
Some games we want to be really great, and they hit a home run, and then other people want to be great and they're a complete flop.
Yep.
And then, well, whose fault is it? Well, it's the people that don't buy the game. But we're getting into this state where so many companies are telling their gamers, do not buy the game if you don't like it. And then they get upset and go, well, why isn't anybody buying our games?
Right.
Well, gee, I wonder. You tell people don't buy the game if you don't like it. So nobody buys the game. And games are going to flop that way.
Right. But
I seen an article and going back with Nintendo, I seen an article where they don't want to get involved with a lot of the console war drama. They have, like, you go in and they tell you, like, hey, we're not, going to do any of this console war nonsense. So, and then they also want to be innovative.
They want to be unique, is what. Like, I get it from a company standpoint.
Yeah. And they want to be unique and be innovative, but they also don't want to get into a lot of the nuances that's getting other companies in trouble. Like with any of the, I guess, woke agenda, but also the AI stuff. They also weren't wanting to get involved in that too much.
Right?
If at all. And for me, with all of this AI, when it stops being just a tool to help you with something and becomes the whole work, then it just stops being what I would consider good, because there's less human input. And I think that's where the problem lies with that.
Right.
But again, like, they want to do right, but they also have a tendency to really mess up, just like anybody else. On one hand, they'll do something that everybody loves, and then on the other hand, they do something that everybody's just like, why? Why are you doing this?
Right.
And with Power World, I'm kind of hoping that this gets sold easily and quickly, because Nintendo's not one to back down when it comes to setting their lawyers on someone. They've taken down things meant for fun, like the online Melee group. They wanted to play Melee online during the lockdowns, and so that way they didn't always have to have large conventions.
Oh, and the fact that they're trying to
and then Nintendo went after. Yep, that's another one. They don't like the fact that YouTubers will post it. Yeah, well, they don't like the fact that people will stream their games, because they feel like they may not make the money out of people that just watch people play the games. They want you to actually buy the games. But I'm just hoping, like I was saying for Power World, because of the fact that when they went after the people for the online Melee tournament, they had to shut everything down, because Nintendo's lawsuit drained them of so much of their funding they couldn't do anything. They couldn't keep even a single server up and running for it.
Right.
And this is, you know, from years ago, so...
Mm-hmm. But aside from that, not every company is a good company. They always have their own flaws, and
Yeah,
but,
not every company can have, you know, at this point, there's some companies that just don't even have a good quality going for them right now,
right.
which is sad because, you know, the companies are the big companies. They've been around for a while, maybe not as long as Nintendo has,
It's their
but
legacy games that made them like still going on to this day.
mm-hmm.
But that's what we saw a few days ago, and I wanted to talk about it. And also, I wanted to talk about how I want to like make new content, and the fact that I haven't been posting for a while. So I'm gonna make more. Don't worry, like 14 is coming up. There is some videos I wanted to make about 14, and including VR related content, including 14 as well. So they're both together. But that's all we were gonna talk about, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Have
Bye-bye.
fun.